This is the Outdoor Products 10-person instant cabin tent, and in this video we'll be testing its ease of setup, ease of takedown, spaciousness, comfort, ventilation, and more. I bought this Outdoor Products 10-person tent from Amazon, and here's what it looks like out of the box. Inside the package, I got the tent body, the rainfly, and 15 of these steel stakes. The steel poles of the tent are all pre-attached, so are all the pole clips and the 6 guy lines. I put affiliate links below if you want to check it out. For ease of use, I looked at how easily I could put up as well as take down and pack up this Outdoor Products 10-person tent. I did this on my own, so 1 person, and also I tested this with 2 people as well. To set up this Outdoor Products 10-person instant tent, first lay the tent body flat on the ground like this. After that, pull the tent upward using the 3 center hubs, and also pull the 6 elbow joints with these red colored extended tips outward. After pulling on both the hubs and elbow joints, your tent should look like this. Next, extend all the telescoping wall poles by pulling them apart until you hear the button clicking into place. After that, drape the rainfly over the tent and secure the 6 hooks of the rainfly to the 6 loops on the base of the tent. Also, clip the pole clips of the rainfly to the steel wall poles and secure each eave in place with the Velcro attachment. Finally, stake out the tent. Use 3 stakes for the front, 2 stakes for the ground vent, 1 stake at the side, 3 stakes for the back, and 6 stakes for the pre-attached guy lines. It'll take about 6 minutes for 2 people to set up this Outdoor Products 10-person instant tent. If you set the tent up on your own, it'll take about 12 minutes. Taking down the Outdoor Products 10-person tent and then packing it up takes slightly more than 4 minutes for 2 people and about 8.5 minutes on my own, excluding washing and drying, of course. If you want more detailed instructions on how to set up, take down, and pack up this Outdoor Products tent, you can check out this video on my channel here. For spaciousness, I looked at the peak height, slope of the walls, and base area. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent has a peak height of 77.5 inches, and I can reach the top of the tent by stretching my arm out. The lowest height in the tent, which is at the 4 corners, is about 61 inches. I'm about 63 inches tall, so I could stand up almost everywhere inside this Outdoor Products tent, except for the 4 corners, but I can stand up just by taking a small step forward. The length of the Outdoor Products 10-person tent is about 13 feet and 7 inches, while the width is about 10 feet, so slightly smaller than the marketed dimensions in terms of length. Also, there's no vestibule, so if you leave your shoes out, it'll get wet if it rains. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent can accommodate 10 single sleeping pads or sleeping bags, and here's what having 10 pads in this 10-person tent looks like. To accommodate 10 people in this tent, it's almost shoulder-to-shoulder sleeping, although there's some space down the middle for just a tiny bit of camping gear. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent can also fit 4 queen-sized camping mattresses, and here's what the tent looks like with these 4 mattresses. The mattresses that I used in this tent are slightly smaller than queen size, so I'll put the dimensions of each mattress in this video for a better reference. These 4 mattresses take up almost the entire tent, though there's a tiny space down the middle of the length if I push all the mattresses to the side as much as I can. For comfort and features, I looked at the windows, doors, bug nets, and more. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent has 3 windows on this side of the tent, excluding the 3 doors here on the other side of the tent, and each of these windows measures about 42 inches in length by 20 inches in width. This is the longest length and the longest width of each window. Each window has 2 zippers, which are pretty much snag-free. If there's no rain, you can unzip the windows for more ventilation, and there's a bug net to prevent bugs from getting in. This is no-seal mesh, so you don't have to worry about any bugs getting in at all. You can stuff the fabric of the windows right here. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent has 3 doors. One is this huge double door, or T-door, which measures about 72 by 51 inches in dimensions, but it's about 58 inches from the floor to the top of the door, so almost full size, but I do need to duck a little when entering. Here's what this double T-door looks like in comparison to my size. To the left and right of this T-door, we have the other 2 smaller side doors. Both side doors are exactly the same, both measuring about 55 by 47 inches in dimensions, and both are about 58 inches from the floor to the top of the door. So the same as the T-door, and I do need to duck a little when entering. All 3 doors have no-seam bug nets spanning about half the length of each door, and I really enjoyed having tons of bug-free ventilation. If there are no bugs though, I like to unzip all the doors and leave them open. For the double door or T-door, just roll back the two sides of the door and clip them to the sides, one clip on each side like this. For the two smaller side doors, also roll out the door and clip it to the top with these two clips or latches. The double T-door has 3 zippers for the door, while the smaller side doors have 2 zippers each for the door. Both doors can be zipped up from the outside and the inside. I found that the smaller side doors tend to snag because of this rain cover. Also, if you don't want to keep having to zip the doors up, you can use this Velcro closure that comes with the double T-door for easier access. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent comes with an attached room divider, so you can split the tent into 2 rooms. Each room can fit either 5 sleeping pads or sleeping bags or 2 queen-sized beds. One of the rooms will have 3 windows, while the other room will have 3 doors. The divider has a zip in the middle so that you can access either room, and you can also pull back the sides of the dividers if you don't want to use it. You can also fit just 1 or 2 queen-sized beds in one room and use the other as a living room or something like that. What I really like about this pre-attached divider is that it provides a lot of privacy. The divider is completely full length, so there are no gaps, not even at the bottom like some of my other tents. It's also not very see-through, which is really nice, although it's not completely opaque, especially if you're right up close to the divider. There are 2 pockets in the entire tent, both measuring about 47 by 7 inches, so not the smallest that I've seen, but I still expected more pockets for such a large tent. There are 4 lantern loops in the tent, with 2 lantern loops in each room if you use the divider. 1 lantern loop in each room is in the middle with this loop, and the other 1 loop is near the divider. 1 loop near the divider is a hook, while the other one isn't exactly a lantern loop, but you can still use it. Also, there's 1 E-port in the middle of the tent with a Velcro closure. For ventilation, this Outdoor Products 10-person tent has a lot of mesh on the roof of the tent. The rainfly is removable from the outside, and you can stargaze when it's not raining. I really enjoy lying down in the tent and watching it turn dark during sunset. Apart from the roof, the mesh on the 3 doors are extra large, so there's quite a bit of ventilation through the 3 doors even if they aren't fully open. The other 3 windows are not very big though. I really like the extended eaves of this tent, which hold the rainfly away from the tent body, and when it's raining, the water avoids most of the window mesh, and you can probably crack them open a bit. But in heavy rain, and especially when there's wind, it's best to keep them fully closed because the rain will hit the mesh and drip into your tent if you leave them open. Thankfully, there's 1 ground vent in this Outdoor Products tent, which is extra large and measures about 59 inches in length and 11 inches in width. So at least there is some ventilation while it's raining because air can flow in through the ground vent and be pushed out through the ceiling mesh. Not a lot of ventilation, but better than nothing, I guess. For weather resistance, I looked at rain and wind protection. It did not rain while I was using this Outdoor Products tent, so I had to make do with this water hose, and it looked like this. I think this can be considered to be somewhat moderate rainfall. I did this for an hour and concentrated the rainfall on the front of the tent. After about 15 minutes of this kind of rainfall, I noticed that there was some leaking through this seam here, which connects the yellow fabric of the tent body to the bathtub flooring because it hasn't been seam taped or sealed. After an hour of rainfall, apart from the seam leaking, none of the tent body or bathtub flooring was wet. When I put this Outdoor Products tent through 1 hour of light rain, not even the untaped seam was leaking. For more info on this, you can check out a full rain test video on my channel. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent was able to stand up to light winds, as you can see here, but I don't think it'll do very well against strong wind because this is a cabin tent with almost vertical sidewalls, so the shape isn't aerodynamic at all. Without the stakes, even light breeze or wind can pick up this cabin tent and blow it away. If you're expecting stronger winds, you might need to change out the stakes as well. For quality, I looked at the flooring, the main tent, stitching, and more. The flooring of this Outdoor Products tent is made of polyethylene. The bathtub feature extends up to about 5 inches, which I find very useful, especially during heavy rains and light flooding. The main tent body and rainfly are made of 68D polyester with 800 mm of water resistance, which was enough to keep the tent fabric dry from the inside after an hour of moderate rain. I found the stitching to be pretty good quality and consistent with no obvious holes or light coming through any of the stitching or anything like that. The stitching at the top of one of the doors was not that great, but it's not a major thing. The zippers worked fine for the windows but snagged on the side doors because of this rain cover. Also, the side door zip was slightly damp after 15 minutes of moderate rainfall. The mesh is no-seam mesh, it's great quality and feels really smooth and silky. If I'm not wrong, these storage pockets also feel equally soft and silky, so maybe they're no-seam mesh too. The poles of this Outdoor Products instant tent are all pre-attached and made of steel, so putting it up and taking it down was very easy, and because they're made of steel, they felt pretty sturdy. The 15 steel stakes that came with the tent are just your standard tent stakes. I had no issues with the guy lines, and they seem to be reflective at night. I'm not sure what material the carry bag is made of, but it feels good quality, and it was actually pretty easy getting the entire tent, poles and all, back into the bag. This Outdoor Products 10-person tent has a packed size of 50 by 17 by 12 inches. For a size comparison, here's what it looks like beside a Coleman 2-person Sundome tent as well as a 32-ounce Nalgene bottle, and it's so long that it even comes with 2 additional buckles on the carry bag to secure the tent together. Oh, and it weighs about 33 pounds for everything. For pros, this Outdoor Products 10-person tent has an extremely easy and fast setup. I did have a little trouble getting the rainfly up because I'm not tall, but if you're slightly taller, it should be a breeze. Even packing the tent up was easy and air didn't get trapped inside when stuffing it back into the bag. The next pro is that the instant tent mechanism is high quality, with 3 center hubs for more livable space and even these extended eaves that hold the rainfly away from the tent body so you can crack the windows open a little when it's raining. Speaking of rain, I also tested this Outdoor Products tent through 1 hour of light rain and there were no leaks at all. On top of that, this Outdoor Products tent has awesome features like a whopping 3 doors, one of which is this huge T-door and even this full-length room divider for privacy. The quality is also superb, from its consistent stitching to silky no-seam mesh. If you found this helpful so far, please help me hit that like button, thank you, and I really appreciate it. As for cons, I think the biggest one has got to be portability. Instant tents have a much bigger packed size than regular traditional tents. Here's what the Outdoor Products 10-person instant tent looks like compared to regular 10-person tents. Quite a bit bigger, huh? Also, some smaller cons are that the zippers do snag on the side doors because of the rain cover, and also all 3 doors are on the same side of the divider. But overall, I felt that the pros greatly outweighed the cons, and I would gladly take the bigger packed size if that means a much easier setup. If you're looking for a 10-person tent and your priority is an easy setup and pack up, this Outdoor Products tent is definitely the best tent for you. How do I know that? Well, I've already done the comparison for you in these videos. I'll put them up when you're ready, so do check those out. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.